Hey guys, TGK or James here for GameGrin.com, and I'm here to talk to you about a unique event the TheSphericalCat, or Adam, and I got invited to last week. Now, you may have heard of a new game coming out on Xbox One, PS4 and PC this week called A Way Out, featuring protagonists Leo and Vincent in their escape from prison. A Way Out is developed by Hazelight Studios and published under the EA Originals label, and was first debuted E3 2017 last year. The game piqued a lot of interest down to a couple of things about it that weren't quite what you'd expect. Now, the game is played exclusively in split-screen co-op. No single player, no competitive multiplayer. This is a purely co-op only experience. Control shifts from one player to another on the same screen, but no player seems to have greater significance than the other. If you're unlucky enough not to have a friend that can afford the game but wants to play with you from their house, you can share your copy of the game with them online and enjoy the fun from the comfort of your own homes. Now, I'll get into talking about the game a little later, but let's talk about the event itself. Adam and I arrived at a place called Breakin Escape Rooms in Isleworth, London, knowing that we would be getting a taster for the game and a chance to take part in an escape room themed around A Way Out. Now, after a short time with the game, we were thrown boiler suits with A Way Out emblazoned on the front and bundled into a holding room. It was our time to be locked up. A scary man named Gibson gave us the lowdown. We were prisoners and we didn't matter for squat. We were not going to get out anytime soon, and he was there to make damn sure of it. During our introduction to what was to be our hellhole, one of our fellow inmates, too busy looking at his phone than the commands of the prison officer, was pulled aside and thrown into a side room violently as can be. Unbeknownst to us, he was a plant cleverly placed alongside all of us, posing as a fellow subject. After he was out of the picture, and as a few of the guards were distracted, we were introduced to two other inmates, Levi and Billy, who gave us the lowdown. They got us working the cleaning shift in the workshop, and we had a few goals: fix the bus's engine for the escape, jam the radios of the guards, understand their patrol pattern, and take them out one by one before escaping. We got into the room and wondered if we'd even find a light switch. Good start, huh? It was a largely spread out room with a couple of lockers, some shelving with a bunch of lock boxes, a workbench with tools above it, the guts of an engine, a metal shutter, a few plastic pipes attached to a wall, a bunch of targets on the top of the ceiling, and words below them too, with a big old wooden box by the door. Most of the tasks seemed to involve locks and keys, but we were immediately flummoxed with the lack of the latter. After finding a clue in the form of 3 pictures of tools, and eventually working out that we needed to count the number of said tools above the workbench for the combination to the first lock, we opened our first toolbox. Inside there was a wire which I used to fish out the only key that was in our plain sight, contained within a see-through box with only narrow holes for tools to fit through. That key opened up a key box which had an additional 4 keys in, but we could only spot 2 additional locked boxes. The majority of the puzzles were in no way simple. Staring us in the face was a poster covering a map of the guards' patrol routes that I actually turned up thinking it was just the fire escape map. Using the map and starting with the first guard, we tracked their patrol with combinations of lefts and rights to open another padlock that unearthed the next puzzle, comprising of 2 sets of chains and the task to pull up the 2 remaining lock boxes that were wedged in the bottom. Some excellent teamwork helped us wrangle the boxes from their enclosure, or prison you could say. As we got the hang of things, the crystal maze cogs in our heads started whirring, and we were on a roll. A combination of spanners inside the 4 toolboxes we discovered, along with some basic algebra, harking back to the days of Year 6, gave us the combination to another box. Throughout our puzzle solving, we were able to wire up and fix the engine in the centre of the room from parts and cables we found in the 2 lockers. There was some incredible attention to detail, and we had to be properly clocked on to search every nook and cranny, finding another key in one of the uniforms found inside the lockers. After fishing a key from one of the plastic pipes using a magnet on a chain, opening the second locker and nabbing some wireless remotes, we raised the metal shutter to unearth a plan of a multi-storey car park and some RC cards and chain-operated lifts, playing the part of the deployment of radio jammers around the car park. The lifts were used to move the remote control cars up and down the garage's 3 levels. 2 of us operated the lifts and the other 2 controlled the cars. After some problems with the puzzle's mechanics that we fortunately didn't get on film, such as cars flipping upside down, some dubious controls, and some extra sensitive sensors that were underneath the cars themselves, we navigated the garage successfully. Our success in the RC cars left us with 15 minutes to spare, leaving us with the task of taking out the guards in order with the auspiciously placed assault rifle, hidden away in the wooden box the whole time. Adam was a sharpshooter, ensuring his aim on those targets on the wall were dispatched in the correct order with only seconds on a timer to do so. Finally, the workshop's door was swung wide open, with us facing the guards that imprisoned us 45 minutes prior. We made a swift-ish escape of the prison, and we were out scot-free. The whole experience was brilliant fun and a perfect accompaniment to the co-op experience found in A Way Out. The majority of the puzzles involved some form of teamwork and coordination, and whilst we found more problems with the performance of some of the tasks, it was an all-round memorable experience. Let's talk about the game itself. A Way Out, headed by Joseph Fares, famed for his debut game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons and his literal FU to the Oscars, seems like it could be a valuable asset to any story lover's collection that has a friend or partner that's willing to be part of the ride. Immediately as you begin playing, you feel familiar with the experience, but not in a way that feels patronising. Initially, a few prompts will show on the screen as to the buttons to press, sometimes in generic QuickTime fashion, other times during live gameplay. After the first couple of times, you naturally begin pressing the buttons that feel right based on what's been learnt in the simple action moments. The game didn't feel inherently difficult, with a fair amount of leeway in the time needed for most button presses, but I don't think this is a game for those that desire that challenge. Don't get me wrong, it's not a walk in the park, and missing sections or not being fully engaged can lead to problems. The game transitions so effortlessly from cutscene to player control and then over to the next player and back again. Adam and I were caught out on a couple of occasions just enjoying the visuals when we missed our cues to take control. This is in no way a negative. All too often do games stutter, throw up a prompt, or load a new area of what's talked about as fluid gameplay. Both Leo and Vincent felt likeable and unique. Their dialogue isn't trying to be anything stereotypical or bland. You just get the impression these are two normal guys with a goal of getting out and wanting to enjoy their lives, despite knowing they could have done some serious wrong to get where they were. Their chemistry between each other felt good, and you can expect some pretty funny exchanges between them both and with other interactable NPCs too. The one thing I really hope is that the few technical issues we had in the escape room, specifically with the remote control cars, wasn't a sign of things to come, with immersion in the puzzles and the game being critical to enjoying the experience. There's a lot of love that's gone into A Way Out, and Joseph has worked tirelessly to bring it to the masses with a relatively small team. If Joseph and Hazelight Studios can pull off that effortless transitional experience from cutscene to gameplay and beyond for the whole game that we saw in our short glimpse, matched with a couple of likeable characters and little fumbling with glitches and unintentional misdirection, then A Way Out is bound to be a big hit. A massive thanks to the A Way Out team, giving Adam and I a chance to experience a real taste of what the game is all about, both on screen and in reality. The guys at Breakin Escape Rooms were extremely hospitable, and they played their roles very well too. That stand-in inmate really had me fooled for sure. A Way Out is out on Friday the 23rd of March on Xbox One, PS4 and PC for around £24.99 or $29.99. But don't forget, you can share your experience with a friend, so only one person needs to buy a copy. Maybe they'll even split the cost with you. Don't forget to follow GameGrin on social media to never miss a beat, and show us your thumbs either up or down to tell us what you think by liking or disliking the video. I've been TGK for GameGrin.com, and I'll see you next time. Ta-ra for now.